anything that wants to spontaneously move, let it. When we're anxious, it's going at a rate of knots and it's exhausting and it feels awful. When you're anxious, then it's a pretty good chance that your vagus nerve is on high alert. So tapping on the top of your head, starting up here, then above your eyes. So we literally go around the eyes. Hello everybody, I'm Catriona Morten. I'm a sensory-motor psychotherapist, and today I'd like to run through some simple ways that we can lower our anxiety. Before I jump into that, if you're enjoying these videos, then please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, because it helps us get a message out there to tons more people. It's not just anxious thoughts. We might be very aware of our head whirring and bringing up all kinds of things for us to worry about and be anxious about. But the main action is in the body. This is where it's all felt, this is where it's generated from, and when our anxiety levels are high, our bodies are dysregulated, and these things fuel each other. It sends that message to the brain. It's like, oh my God, something's wrong. And our brain is really happy to provide a whole host of things that are wrong or potentially could happen. Now, it's very difficult to just switch this off and calm those thoughts because they're being fueled. It's much, much easier to find ways to have some techniques to actually try and switch our vagus nerve off from alarm, to get our nervous system lowered, and to get our breathing a bit more regulated, and for everything to start calming down and slowing down. Because when we're anxious, it's going at a rate of knots and it's exhausting and it feels awful. Sometimes if we notice certain things, especially about our breathing, if it's very short or it's speeding up, that can make the anxiety worse. And so for a lot of people, focusing on the breath doesn't work. For some people, doing box breathing or having breathing exercises works. Know what works for you. And that's the key thing with this. So I'm going to show you some simple ways that you can just start to work on your nervous system and get your energy flowing a little bit and get things to calm down. This will automatically just calm down and switch off and stop racing. So we're going to work with the body. Now, a lot of the time when our anxiety is really high, we're quite disconnected from our body and we might feel a little bit numb. Oh, how are you feeling? Can you sense into your stomach? No, I can't feel anything. Okay. So the first thing that we have to do is kind of get our circulation going and wake up that connection between the body and the head. The simplest way of doing that is by patting and rubbing your legs from the bottom all the way up to the top. Be quite vigorous. You want to really wake them up a little bit, get that circulation going. Squeeze them, pat them. Do the same on your arms. And again, be quite vigorous. Give them a really good squeeze all the way up to your shoulders. You want to get things really woken up and livened up, getting that circulation going. We're really looking for the body to be able to communicate to the head and the head to be able to hear and sense that communication. If we're feeling down or anxious, everything's kind of going downwards. And so something that we can do about that is start to pull our energy up. Everything's going down, we're feeling heavy and laden and anxious and everything's just too much. So again, from your ankles up, just brushing your energy up. I know this might sound a bit bonkers, but it really works. Okay, same up your arms, brushing it up. So we're sweeping everything up. Pull your energy up. So do it through your core. You've done your arms and your legs. Do it through your core. It doesn't matter if you feel a bit daft or, you don't want to do this in front of anybody. Of course not. That's fine. But you want everything to start to move and kind of get rebalanced a little bit. And what you're looking for are those spontaneous breaths that your body takes and just a loosening off of any tension. And it'll be spontaneous. And you'll get that when your body responds to something you're doing. So every time you do something and you feel yourself take a breath, and then the subsequent breaths after that are a bit slower and deeper, brilliant. Your body's responding, you're on the right lines. And we want things that we're going to do to ourselves that actually are going to impact our nervous system. It's too difficult to just kind of go in, do a body scan, see what's going on, because things are moving too quickly. So tapping's a really good one. It hits all the points that we need for things to start calming down for our nervous system. So we do both of our hands. You can do your hands at the beginning and at the end if you want to. I'm going to run through these quickly, but you can take your time with them. So tapping on the top of your head, starting up here, then above your eyes. So we literally go around the eyes, above your eyes, to the sides of your temples, beneath your eyes. Spend some time on these, give them about 20-30 seconds each. Your top lip, your bottom lip, and it's really hard to kind of think and as you're doing things, because it's quite a sensory thing. You're not only hitting some very important points for your nervous system, but you can feel it and you can hear it all the different places. And some people report, oh, my feet are tingling. Brilliant. Just notice things. Just noticing all these things that are coming up, the way that your body's communicating to you. And tingling is a good thing. It's usually a sign that the circulation's starting to go. You're getting blood and oxygen into there, and they might just be a precursor to wanting to move. Anything that wants to spontaneously move, let it. Just pause at the end of each one and just see if there's any movement in your body. If there is, let it happen. Because if you've got frozen, anxious energy, it gets very locked into place. Our body holds it in all different places and we can feel quite fragmented. So we want to really help our body kind of work with the left and the right, the top and the bottom. And, some ways of just kind of shifting up that energy. It's just, standing up and sweeping your arm across. So you're just kind of giving yourself a rebalancing. And another good one, this is a kinesiology one, and put your fingers out in front of you and draw out the figure of 8, like the infinity sign, figure of 8 on its side. And again, you can do this one way, you can come back, do it the other way, and it's a very good rebalancing thing. You can also draw out a figure of 8 in front of your body. You can do it over here, and again, just try them and see what works, see how your body responds. We can do one from top to bottom so that we're joining up all our chakra points in our body. Don't be too pedantic about the shape of it. It's just a kind of to get your energy rebalanced. When you're anxious, then it's a pretty good chance that your vagus nerve is on high alert. And there's certain places in the body that it's nearer the surface so we can work on it. And our vagus nerve is responsible, it's huge 2 nerves that run through our body. And they're very responsible for our social engagement system and all our circulation, our heart, our lungs. So it's a really good one to be able to work with. And so it's at the neck. And so the first thing that we do is just give our neck a bit of a rub. And just be aware of how that feels. Is there stiffness in your neck as you try and move it? Again, things are being held very tight. So you're just spending a bit of time giving your vagus nerve a good rub. Give it a massage on your temples, loosening it up here, because it affects our eyes, especially the areas around our eyes. Not necessarily our eyeballs, it's the areas around our eyes. So it's a good thing to be able to stretch it out. Once you've loosened it up a little bit, then it's easier to give it a stretch. And so we want to just allow our hand to help our head to come over and stretch. Angle your eyes up in the opposite direction. It really helps just stretch out the vagus nerve. It's tight and fully on. Then do the same on the other side. Be nice and slow and gentle. And again, hold this for as long as it feels comfortable, knowing that you're doing your nervous system a power of good. So take your time with these. I'm going through them at a rate of knots, but take your time. Notice how you're breathing. If focusing on your breathing is difficult, then just notice if it's spontaneously breathing and, just make it quite a casual thing. It's like, oh yeah, how's your head doing? Is it racing? Is it still going at 100 miles an hour? Does it feel like things are calming down? Do you have a sense that you've actually got a body now? And if so, then those things work. Write them down, make a note of them. So the next time you feel this, you can do them. It's like, I can't think what to do because I'm offline. What does it say? And just go through the things that you know that work for you. The other thing we can do is we can make use of our muscles. Can you squeeze the muscles in your bottom? I always start with those ones first because they're nice and easy. And a lot of the time, even if your arms and legs have gone offline, you just got a sense. It's like, okay, can you squeeze them and release them slowly? Do you have a sense of control? And again, it's really difficult to think a million miles an hour if you're doing this. Can you move your feet? Can you get your feet to make the movements that you'd like them to make? Does it feel like you can operate them? You've got control over them. Can you feel those movements? Can you squeeze any muscles in your legs? What muscles can you feel squeezing and releasing? Squeeze and release them a few times, and then squeeze them and release them slowly, so that you're having to be a bit more mindful and that connection is just increasing all the time. And it's really good for getting a bit more regulated, slowing this down, and just having a sense of control. Do the same with the muscles in your arms. Can you squeeze them? Can you find any to squeeze? Can you release them slowly? Can you just feel yourself working them? Can you do one arm and a diagonal leg and trying to not let the other ones join in? And again, some people say, oh, that's quite tricky. Good. It's good that it's tricky because you're not up here, you're in here. Do the same on the other side, that arm and the diagonal leg. You can go around in a circle. You can do one leg, one arm, one leg. Go around a few times. Can you reverse it? Go around the other way. It's really hard to think while you're doing these things. And when you stop, what do you notice? If the anxiety makes you feel really wobbly, then you want to get your muscles working. And it doesn't matter if it's like, oh, if they feel a bit weak. That's okay. Any ones that are joining in are good. And a simple way of doing that is linking your arms together and just pulling. Gives you a sense of strength. And it's like a circle of strength that goes around. So just pull, hold it for a bit. When you release it, does your body take a spontaneous breath? Anything that you do that you get a kind of, oh no, stop immediately. Listen to what your body's telling you. Oh, it doesn't like that. Don't do that. Do something that's the polar opposite of that. We can use our top half of our body and the bottom half of our body to just work together. So putting your hands on the outside of your knees and just getting a bit of resistance going. So pushing out with your knees and in with your arms. So they're having to work together to produce this sense of resistance. So everything's working together. When you release it, do it nice and slowly. What does your body tell you? Do you have more sense of being in your body, being a bit more grounded? Can you feel your feet on the floor? How are you breathing right now? Is everything slowing down? These are some really easy and simple things that I go through with people when I can see that they're really wired, really anxious. Just help bring it down. Now, something that people will often say, it's like, oh, but it just comes back. That's okay, because at least if you know that these things actually help and work, then you've got a sense of control. It doesn't matter that it comes back. Your body and any of your parts that are triggered know that actually they're not just completely at the mercy of these triggers and the nervous system going on, that you're playing a part. You're taking some responsibility. You're helping your nervous system and your regulation in your body settle. And it's like, okay, it might come back, but I can do this again. It gives you a break in things, but it also gives you that sense of having some control, being able to do something about it. And that goes a long way to, not feeling like we're at the mercy of things that are going to dysregulate and trigger us. It's like, okay, but I have a set of things to do that actually can help. And this will slow down and it gives you a really good break from it. So try them, see what works. The ones that work for you, brilliant. Make a note of them so that you can use them. And, if anybody has any other ones that they want to put in the comments, brilliant. Things that work for you. I'd be interested to read them, but other people might be really grateful for them. So I hope that's helpful, useful, and if you've enjoyed this video, then give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Okay, bye!